Hi guys, welcome back to the Wanderers of Weird podcast. It's getting a little bit easier for me to say that now. Wanderers of Weird.
So this week we thought we would do something a little different.
That's been a theme here lately.
Yeah, we're still trying to get our footing and figure out how we want to do things, and
we're just trying to find some good shit to talk about and not fall into some type of
you want to
mold.
say hi, little cat?
We don't want to be one of those podcasts where every episode is the same.
It's okay. You need.
Woo!
Hush, hush.
Sass.
It's okay. You can sit with your mommy. It's okay. Well, anyways, so this week we are telling you some of our own personal ghost stories or experiences that we have had over the years.
We, back in the day, we haven't done it in a long time, but we used to go out on, like, weekends, pick a night, and we'd go what we call ghost hunting.
Yeah.
We'd just go to, like, random-ass cemeteries or, you know, weird places throughout, local to where we are, and just kind of feel them out, see what we get, see if we can see, hear, feel anything, and just kind of, you know, be amateur ghost hunters.
Yeah. We hardly ever got out of the car.
Right. We were always too scared to get out of the car. It was rare that we'd get out and walk around. I personally am sensitive to those types of things. You know, some of our listeners may not be believers in the afterlife or believe that there is, you know, ghosts are real or whatever, and that's fine, to each their own. We definitely believe because we've had experiences that prove otherwise.
Yeah, I've had too many experiences to be coincidence at this point.
And it's I'm fairly sensitive to things, and the older I've gotten, the more sensitive to the things I've been.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster.
Oh, for sure. Like, I remember, like, being a little kid, and my parents' house was built in 1960 by my great-grandfather. And nobody ever lived there before. Neither of them even died in the house. They both died in nursing homes. And, like, we would hear walking in, like, on the roof, like, heavy boot steps. And, like, it's just a single-story ranch-style home. And there's attic enough to walk up in there, but, like, there weren't any. Like, my dad would always go check and see for animals or whatever. And still, to this day, no idea what that was.
I'm a firm believer that, like, when you build a house, you're building on something. Something's happened on the land.
Just because, like, something hasn't happened in the home doesn't mean that something hasn't happened on the land.
Right. And to be honest, in the area of where your parents' house is, I live right up the street. There is
a lot.
There's a lot in that area.
Yes.
There is an old powder mill.
Yeah.
Very close by. I'm talking walking distance.
Yeah. And it was like, it goes back to the very beginning of the county that we live in.
Right. So, and my yard is hella active.
Yeah.
A lot. And honest to God, I feel like we've talked about this a little bit in a previous episode, but it's like at nighttime, sometimes it feels like there's like live action role play LARPing going on in the yard.
Yeah.
There's just lots of movement that you can't see, but you can see, you know,
right.
and like it's a lot. I'm telling you, there was some kind of small, insignificant little Civil War fight or some shit that happened in that area that had to have been.
Yeah.
Had to have been. Yeah,
because like because y'all host a Halloween party every year, or you have for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
And like, even just like as the sun sets and the evening settles in, and like it's that time where not everybody has arrived yet, but people are starting to arrive, but it feels like there is a crowd of people.
Well, and then this past Halloween wasn't quite as bad because we didn't set anything up in that bigger yard off to the side, but like the year before, was it the year before, the year before that it was like on actual Halloween, and it was a full moon, and we had set things up in that yard where they're the most active, and you could tell that they weren't there, and but they weren't happy about it. They were displaced because there was too much going on. And so we walked around. I don't know, y'all might have already left by then. I think you had me and one of my other friends, Josh, and one of my husband's aunts had walked around to the other side of the house, and there was a strong, heavy presence of unsettlement because they were being displaced for the night, and they were not happy about it whatsoever.
Right.
I firmly believe, too, in my house, there is a female presence. So I'm putting this out here. This is not something I share generally with a lot of people, but I'm going to put it out there, whatever, because it's relevant to the cause today. I'm sensitive enough that I can feel a presence and tell you male, female, and give you a basic idea of what it looks like. And it has been proven that I'm accurate most of the time. I'm not going to say all the time. There is a female presence in my house that I anticipate being an older woman that was probably whoever lived there and was helping quarter these soldiers, whoever, and, you know, maybe maybe doctoring them back to health, or, you know, whatever. She's very motherly, very caring. I feel watched a lot, but I think that that's just her means of making sure that everything is okay. I don't feel threatened.
I do have a question, though.
Okay.
Do you think she's there all the time?
Not all the time.
Okay. So, do you think, like, I'm trying to figure out how to ask the question. So, like, do you think she only visits your home, or do you think she visits other homes? I'll get to the point in a minute.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I've experienced her anywhere else. I mean, maybe she goes over to the neighbor's house or something. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Like, homes that are close by.
Maybe, possibly. Oh, you think she's been going over to your parents' house too?
Well, when we were kids, me and my sister would have an older woman, motherly. She said, you know, she thought our mother came in and sat on her bed in the middle of the night. She saw the bed depressed.
Did she ever see the person, though? Because
I'm not sure.
Okay, I wanted to get a description.
I never did, but I did, like, experience her. Because I went to stay at the neighbor's house. My mom was having surgery, or my parents were in Aruba or something, and we were staying over there. And upstairs in my neighbor's house, like, I was up in one of the bedrooms watching movies. And, like, I felt someone sit on the bed. And I was like, that's kind of weird. You know, I was, like, maybe 12 or so at the time. And I was like, that's kind of strange. And then, like, I slept in one of the other bedrooms. And a woman's voice woke me up and told me to wake up. Nothing happened. Nothing came of it. But we surmised that this was the same one coming back and forth.
Like, she was watching you guys.
Yes.
Protecting you guys.
And more so my sister than
I'd like to know if your sister ever, like, physically saw or had an idea of what she looked like. Because I venture, what I am seeing of this woman is like an older, I don't want to say older lady. I'm going to say 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
Motherly.
We always called her Miss Flossie, is what we always called her.
The woman that I'm picturing is dark, like brownish hair. Mm-hmm. Maybe is a hint of red to it, but it's like up in a bun. She's very, very motherly. Just very, I don't want to say homely because I feel like that has a negative connotation to it, but like, you're just very comfortable. You look at her and you're like, okay, this lady's good people, you know, and she's going to be helpful, but like, she's kind of tall. But she's very pretty.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
I'll ask my sister if she ever like actually saw her.
Right.
Because like I said, you know, she had more experiences with her. And and just for some context, my parents live in very close proximity to you.
Yeah, I can walk to their house.
Yeah, like it's like literally around a curve, and my parents' house is right there.
Like almost to the point of if I stand outside and fart loud enough, her mom could probably hear it.
Probably.
But yeah, no, this lady is very nice. I feel like I don't feel her there all the time, but I feel, there are times when I feel like, because I do work from home and I'm at home by myself a lot, I know that I'm not alone. I feel like she's there, like when the kids are sick or something, I feel like, she's there helping or whatever. Mm-hmm. I wish she could be of more physical help, like,
right.
But, whatever. My husband helps, so that's not what I'm saying that he doesn't by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not on my own. He is very helpful when the kids are sick, but, I feel like she's very, very helpful, but she's not the only person that's there, but I think that the other entities that may be in the house are more attached to me than just to the land or to the house. The house that I live in is not, I don't know that there was, I don't know of the history of my area. I rent the house.
It's given the way that it looks, it's probably about the same age as my parents' house.
Right.
Because they've got like the same wood paneling.
Yeah. It's an older house, but but I do definitely think that there was something that went on that land, and, I kind of feel the aftermath of it, residual energy.
I mean, that's like my house. Like, my grandparents bought this house new, and nothing, to their knowledge, has ever happened here. But, like, my papa told me when I was little, he said, he one time saw a woman in the front yard. And they're pretty sure it was the neighbor's wife. And then he also told me that because one of my uncle's friends passed away when I was little, and I still vividly remember my mom getting that phone call. And the night he passed away, he was standing in this front yard. He went and visited his wife at their home, and then he went to my mom's house, and my mom saw him standing in her front yard.
Nice.
And I don't know that he's been seen by anybody since. And that home is just right up the road from here. But I have quite a bit of activity in my home.
Oh, your house is a hotbed.
I've heard sneezing from when I'm home alone. I've even said bless you.
You blessed a demon.
I probably. I've heard heavy boots, like, being dropped. And my pawpaw, he passed away in 2005, and not here, but,
not far from here.
Yeah. And he was a welder, and he had, like, steel-toed boots, so I've just chalked it up to that. But, like, even up to, like, a week ago, me and Danny were sitting in the living room, cats around us, accounted for, and we hear, like, a knock at the door. And I checked the camera because I was like, that's kind of weird. Nobody out there. Nothing. And I was like, okay.
She has, so some of the just here in the past, I would say, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, I've been sitting in her house, and I have said from day one of her moving into this house, there was at least one female child entity here, but we have established that there is, like, twin girls. We've caught apparitions on camera.
Yeah,
it looked like two little girls trick-or-treating at her back door.
It was very strange.
It
freaked me out.
And I've heard them giggle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've heard children giggling. I don't have children. And I've heard children giggling in the middle of the night. And I'm just like, okay, that's just part of living here.
She is very comfortable with her ghostly.
Probably too
people.
comfortable.
Yes, and it is very unnerving for me, but it is what it is because I am not that comfortable with mine.
But like, I mean, my bedroom, I feel like, is like a safe haven from the rest of the house. It's like the whole vibe in there is different than the rest of the house. That, and I think my office is where we record is becoming that. Like,
it does feel. I used to be very uncomfortable in this room.
Yeah.
But I have since, I think, because you've gotten rid of a couple things that made me very uncomfortable that were in here.
Yeah.
But I have since that this room feels homey and it feels comfortable. I was literally just telling my sister,
yeah.
Your house has become a place that I feel comfortable and safe and at home in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because you've been here for so long and I have done so much work to the house myself. With the 5 million times that we've painted every fucking room in this house.
I'm an artist, and every room in my house is a different color, and it's bright. Some of it's bright, some of it's been too bright. And like my living room is red, my kitchen is like a burnt orange, and the theme in there is vintage Halloween, and I have old horror movie posters in my living room, and my office is like a deep purple. My bedroom is gray and green. My bathroom is green. I have a Tim Burton bathroom, a Harry Potter guest room.
It's a modge podge of shit here,
but it's stuff that makes me happy, and I just anyway. As long, and I also have like skulls and cremains and
she wonders why she has so many ghosts here.
And I go vintage shopping a lot, and I find like some of the most bizarre shit sometimes.
Well, at one point you have, was it a marriage certificate?
It's in the closet. It's not hanging up. But
for a couple that she has no idea who they are.
I have no idea who they are. I was at a record shop, a local record shop, which sadly has closed. And they had like vintage stuff. And I saw this marriage license on the wall, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I continued on my way, and then like I couldn't stop thinking about this marriage license. And I was like, I was called, for lack of a better term, to purchase it and bring it home. Like, for some reason, I had to have it. So I bought it. And they had, the certificates for their burial plots, which I bought for like $1. And I still have those. It's not hanging up because I've run out of room. But I'm a maximalist.
Very much so.
I like clutter.
So I wanted to. So we've stated that a lot of our experiences that we've had are together.
Yeah.
There is a cemetery here that is actually in a book, at least one.
Yeah.
As one of the most haunted cemeteries around.
Yeah, what is that? What is it called? Nashville Haunted Handbook is the name of that book.
But this one is in there. The road leading up to it. We get halfway down the road and I'm already on edge.
Yeah, like I usually get a headache.
I can't breathe. My chest gets heavy. I've literally only gotten out of the car one time at that place.
I only get out during the day. I have family there, so
you've got family in damn near every cemetery around, though.
Yeah.
But this place is just, we've gone, okay, so I haven't crossed the threshold of the cemetery but once. We've gotten out of the car. There was one time where we went with a couple other friends, and we had brought a camera because we were going to try and catch it on camera. So we got out and we were going to walk across the street because you had to park across the street. We were going to walk across the street up to the fence, and the camera wouldn't focus, but then it focused and there were shadows, and then it wouldn't focus, and then it would focus and there were shadows closer, and it was insane. And that was the night that we almost died because I took off like a bat out of hell and forgot about a sharp curve, even though somebody said, remember this curve up here, and then we almost died.
She said, I got this.
I got this. If I ever say I got this, I don't got this, you better fucking run. Brittany had her hand up somebody's shorts.
Yeah.
This expensive ass camera went flying across my dashboard.
Yeah.
It was a whole ass thing. But that cemetery, there's like There's a statue of a little girl sitting on a bench.
Mm-hmm.
We've felt, I don't know, I've never seen, but we felt a little girl's presence there sitting on that bench next to the little girl statue. There is a Mother Teresa or like the Virgin Mary statue, some kind of statue.
If you watch Doctor Who, Weeping Angel.
Well, no, she's not a weeping. She's not an angel.
It looks like an angel.
Well,
or is it?
No, it's like a Mother Teresa or some shit statue, and we physically watched the statue's head turn.
Yeah, it's been so long since we've been by there.
I even driving by during the day because I took Maddie by there a while back, and it's unnerving even during the day. But like that statue's head has turned and followed us down the road, and it's you guys will think we're nuts, but I swear to it that I saw it happen. I can't breathe when we are there. I get nauseous. I get lightheaded. I can't focus. It's so bad.
Yeah,
it is so
bad.
It's terrifying.
That's not the worst one, because the worst one is out in the Chapmansboro area. Oh, I forgot all about that one. I have an uncle that is buried there, and that his plot is the only spot where I feel safe.
Is it that one? Hold on, because there's two. Are you talking about the one that
up behind the market?
Okay,
the offshoot.
That one's not the one I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about the one where we have classmates.
Yes.
That one?
Yes.
The one where the house is right across the street now.
Yes. Yes. No.
Oh, okay. No, you're talking about the one that I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Okay,
we
I got
also
you.
have former classmates in the other one, too.
Yes, you're right. We do. No, that one is... That one we have gone in once or twice.
Yeah.
We go to that one damn near every time. I personally will never, especially at night, step foot in back in that one, and it does bother me.
Yeah.
The last we've gone, and like it'll be just me and Brittany, and my sister calls and tells me, you know, the eyes are the window to your soul. And, like, for no reason at all. She just felt like she needed to tell us that. And she's given me, like, a bracelet that she blessed to keep us protected. And it burned the shit out of my ankle the whole time we were fucking there. And then But the last time that I went out there, I took an acquaintance of mine that is a medium. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to go out and see how we would connect on stuff. And... The last several times that I had gone out there, I kept telling you that there was a man.
Yeah.
A man with dark hair, shorter hair, big dude, as wide as he is tall, wearing overalls.
Yeah.
It was the same thing every time. He did not like me, and I would not step foot in those gates because he did not like me.
Yeah.
And so the last time I went up there, I took this acquaintance of mine, and we didn't get out of the car. I pulled up, and I instantly felt his presence, and she instantly felt his presence, and he was standing at her window, because her window was closest, standing at her window, cussing me, like yelling at me, but I wouldn't listen. I was like, I wouldn't look in her direction.
Yeah.
And, she said...
That's gotta be so scary.
Oh, she said, describe to me this person that you're seeing. So I told her. And she said, I want you to realize the fact that you did not tell me anything about a face. I said, that's because I can't see one. Mm-hmm. And she said, do you know, I'm getting chills. She said, do you know what that indicates? And I said, what's that? She said, a demonic presence. Yeah. And I said, that makes so much fucking sense. And so then we pulled off, and when we did, you can drive down that road a little bit, and then there's like a little store building or something a little bit further down. Mm-hmm. And so I was going to pop a U-turn there and come back out so that we could go back out to the main road. And I don't remember getting from the cemetery to the point of where we turned around. And all I remember is that I could hear her talking, but I couldn't hear what she was saying. And I don't know what I was doing. And I came to with her saying, are you there? Where are you? Where did you go? And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, you weren't here. I don't know how we made it here.
Yeah.
And that rattled me. It
Right.
rattled because I'm a firm believer now. She said, you cannot come back here at night. She said, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that that is a Wendigo or some shit. I don't fucking know. It's a fucking demon.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
I haven't been out there since.
I
either.
have not since then. The time before that I had been out there that I stepped through the gates was when we did bury a classmate of ours.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I totally thought you were talking about that other one though.
No. And that one is also, we've had things thrown at us.
That tree took a shit on us.
Yeah.
All the fucking horse apples fell out of it. I can't. That is the one that I don't get out of the car out of for
Definitely
sure.
not. And I've only gotten out of it like to walk around
During the day.
less than a handful of times. Thank you for your input.
We've got some insane places around
Oh
here.
yeah, and it's like, the one in the middle of town. Like I've heard, because I've frequented that one a lot because I do have a lot of family in that one. And, like, I got into genealogy, when I was in high school and spent a lot of time there. And, like, and there's an old side and a new side for just, to put some, I got a cat in my face. Little cat. Now is not the time. So, there's an old side and a new side. And the old side is, like, really old. It's where the first church in our town was, and that's like where the building was used for the courthouse, and all kinds of, and it's no longer there. But so I'm there. I think it was at night. I don't know why I was there at night, but somehow I had gotten by myself in our exploration. Because I think I was doing like a ghost hunt with other people. I don't remember. But I heard a little girl singing a melody. Couldn't tell you what it was. And it was like, I wanted to go find it. But I was like, probably shouldn't do that. I'm going to go find everybody else. Nobody else heard it. And then, another time, I know I was doing a ghost hunt with other people. We're all walking around, and one of my sister's friends had passed away right before that. And she wanted to go, and, see if she could get anything. And I'm walking by myself, and I'm like, nowhere near the kid's grave. And I look down at my feet, and there's a little card with his name on it. And I pick it up. And it was like from like a floral arrangement. And it's nowhere near where he's buried. And I was like, oh, that's kind of strange. But it felt like hey, I'm here. I pick it up and put it in my pocket. I still have it.
Nice.
Somewhere. It's in a scrapbook, I think.
I've gotten a lot of activity there, but not anything that I could really pinpoint. The most activity that I have gotten from there was not from the cemetery itself.
Yeah.
There's a church that sits across the street.
Which is for sale?
Yeah, well, anybody that I've ever spoken to that's a believer in this kind of thing has always said that church has bothered them.
Yeah.
We would sit in the parking lot of this church, and the church would give me the heebie-jeebies more than the cemetery itself.
I didn't like, because like we would park with like the nose facing the cemetery and our backs to the church, and I have never liked my back being to that church. I would rather park sideways.
Do we want to talk about that time?
Yes, because that was the same night that
that night that we almost
cemetery.
died.
Yeah. So, it was, you were driving, one of our friends was in the front seat, I'm in the back seat with another one of our friends, and so...
Now keep in mind that the two of them that were in the back seat were like pressed to the windows.
Yeah, we're like far apart, like we're each up against the doors, because we're eyes peeled out the windows. Well, I suddenly feel like somebody is staring at me.
And at the point that she felt this, I had turned around to look at the other person that was in the back seat with her.
Yeah.
And he was like on the window.
Well, I like glance, and I swear to you, there was a face that looked just like my friend's, but older. It was like an older man staring hard right at me, like from the side. And I was like, why were you in my face? And he goes, I wasn't. And I said, that's weird. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. She was like, let's dip. And I said, all right. I think at that point we were done.
Yeah.
We were so done. We may have even like downloaded one of those free ghost
I think
apps
we did
that night.
And also, like, our friend that was in the back seat, when we were leaving a different cemetery, he said, I think something like bit me or something
on his foot.
He took his shoe off. He had like a burn on his foot.
I remember
or
that
on his ankle. I don't.
That was at the same cemetery that the fucking demon is at.
Yeah.
I thought of something while you were telling that story and I forgot. Going back to the entities in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that time I called you in a panic? My husband was working nights and I was at home by myself with the kids. Mm-hmm. Kids were in bed. It was probably, it was late. It was probably like 9-10 o'clock. And I'm in the bathroom. My bathroom is across the house. It's like over, like between the kids' rooms. My bedroom is on the other end of the house. I'm in the bathroom and I hear a woman's voice as clear as day. Sounded like they were in my bedroom. Say, Chelsea? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I froze because no one else was there. Mm-hmm. I get out of the bathroom. No one's in my room. I didn't recognize the voice. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And like, it put me in a full panic because I just didn't, I don't know. Yeah, I still to this day, that voice did not sound familiar to me. I have often wondered if it wasn't like my husband's sister passed away before he and I met. And I've often wondered if maybe it was her.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like anybody in my family. So I can't, I honest to God don't know. Still to this day, it's a mystery of who the hell it could have been.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Well, and that reminded me of something that I nearly forgot about. And every once in a while, this memory just creeps back up on me. So, Danny has a friend who lives in Erin. And
I remember you calling me about this.
He lives in an old farmhouse. And, like, this was the first time I had ever met this man. And we stopped to drop something off or whatever. We drove out there and so Danny could see him and, drop something off to him. And so I'm sitting in the car just hanging out waiting. And I didn't know anything about the house. Nothing. Not really much about the friend, And I'm sitting there and I'm by myself. I had just recently quit smoking, so I was just trying to find anything to pass the time. And I hear somebody call my name. Clear as day. Just said, Brittany. And I'm like, and not a name, not a voice that I recognize. It was a male's voice. And I was like, it's time to go. I was like, my fight or flight kicked in. And I was ready to flight. So we get back in the car and we get away from the house. And I asked Danny, because I know he's not a big believer, and he really wasn't at this point. And I said, has anything ever happened at that house? I was like, I'm pretty sure that house is haunted. And he said, well, now that you mention it, I think, so a kid was living there with his grandparents. And I can't remember if the kid murdered his grandparents or his grandfather murdered the kid and his wife and then himself. I can't remember, but basically a whole family, it was a murder-suicide situation. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, why? I said, somebody said my name. It wasn't there. I was like, and I don't like that it knows my name.
Right. Oh. Oh, no.
So we haven't been back there since.
Nice. It's seeing that just goes to show you, like, you. It makes you want to do your research on every place that you ever move into.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
for sure.
Because, like, even my parents' neighbor, like, I had the experience with Miss Flossie. Well, when I was, like, I had to have been 17 or 18. And, like, they had gone out of town and trusted me to house sit for them. And because of my previous experience upstairs, I was like, I'm not sleeping up there. Hell no. I said, I will pull out that pull-out couch and I will sleep in here in the living room with the TV up and, like, at least a light on. It's probably, like, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
The witching hour.
Yeah. And I am dead to the world. And I hear, Brittany, wake up. A deep male's voice. And I think my dad has come, and woken me up. I shoot straight up. And I'm looking around and there is nobody there. So they get back from their trip and I mentioned it to her and she said, oh yeah, there's a guy that, like, hangs out in the bedroom area. And I was like, because their bedroom's right off of the living room. And I was like, you probably could have mentioned that to
right?
me. She said, well, I didn't think that he doesn't really bother anybody. And so I don't know why I needed to wake up, but I didn't go back to sleep.
I can remember at my parents' house. So, like, my parents bought the house brand new. Brand new. And as a child, my bedroom at that house still to this day gives me the heebie-jeebies.
That whole hallway area.
Yeah, that whole hallway area. I've had experiences both in my childhood bedroom and in what was my sister's bedroom that I, at one point, was sleeping in as well. But, like, I remember one night specifically waking up and there was, like, a glowing blob in the corner of my room. Mm-hmm. And it terrified me. Like, it's just always a constant feeling of uneasiness. Like, when I had moved back home and was sleeping in what was my sister's room, I was laying in bed one night and, like, I had lit a purification candle to make the house clean and safe and whatever. And, like, the candle burned all the way down and it was in a glass candle holder and the glass candle holder exploded.
Oh.
And then that night I'm laying in bed and I physically watched the blanket that I was covered up with lift up at my feet and move up, and I felt something crawl, like, moving up my legs.
Yeah, no, time to...
I was Audi 5000. Like, no, it was awful. It terrified me. And, like, even to this day, I'm not real comfortable going to that house by myself. I'll walk in, I'll announce myself. I'm just here to do such and such.
Yeah.
I do my business and I leave.
Well, also, too, like, when you were living back there, didn't Maddie have nightmares?
Oh, Maddie had night terrors.
Yeah. Like,
still to this day, she has them from time to time, but they were so bad.
Yeah. Like, I remember, like, that period was, like, really bad.
Yeah. But she was also going through some traumatic life changes. But, yeah, Mom's house is insane to me. My mom said that one day she was my mom is all of, like, 5 foot even. She's short. Yeah. So, like, she has to, like, almost get in the washing machine to be able to get the clothes out of the bottom of it. And she said one day she was in there, and it's, like, one of those that has the agitator in it. Yeah. She said one day she was in there, had her head in the washer trying to get shit out, and it just started spinning. Yeah. It was turned off, and it just started spinning. And then there was that one night that I was over there doing laundry, and you and me and our other friend was over there, and, like, we're in the living room. Laundry's going. Something was up with my washing machine or something. Yeah. I had to go to Mom's and wash clothes.
And they were out of
town. It was just me and Brittany and our other friend sitting in the living room watching TV, and all of a sudden there was a loud crash. Yeah. And I walk in to the kitchen to see what that was, and I look into the laundry room, and they had, like, shelves in the laundry room where they put, like, their pots and pans and, like, storage, basically.
It's a really big laundry room.
And all of the pots and pans had fallen off of that for no reason. There was
Like,
no...
the shelf was fine.
Yeah, the shelf was fine, but like everything had come off of the shelves for no reason whatsoever. And it was... Our friend was like done. He was leaving you. He ran
he was
for
like,
the door.
He's like, I've got to go. I got other things to
That
do.
house is, it's crazy. I don't know, like, Mom and Dad, when you guys go, don't leave me that house. I'm selling it. I'm not living there. I refuse.
We could probably do a whole other episode on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I think definitely we'll do this again in the future.
Are we running out of time?
We're close out. We've got 4 minutes.
Yeah, but we'll revisit this.
Yeah. Because, like, I think we've only just scraped the surface.
Oh, hell yeah.
In this episode.
Hell yeah. This is the shit I like to talk about, though.
Oh, yeah.
And just to let you guys know, we literally prepared nothing for this. Like, we're just shooting the shit.
Yeah, we're just...
This is a normal, everyday conversation for us.
We're just vibing.
This is normal, everyday conversation for us. But we appreciate you guys. Let us know that you guys like this so that we know to do another episode like this.
Yeah, if you like it, let us know.
Send us your stories.
We don't want to keep doing these part 2s if you don't like them.
Right. Send us your stories. We'll read
I
listener stories. There's another podcast that I listen to that does it. And I love it. If you have places that you might want us to go check out, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. We're always down for a good ghost hunt from time to time.
Yeah,
if there's any other creators out there, Selena Spooky Boo, that wants to do anything with us, let us know. We'll go. We're in.
Yeah.
But you can find us on Facebook,
Instagram now,
Twitter, TikTok, email,
wanderersofweird@gmail.com.
Let us know. Share us out.
Yeah.
All the good stuff, guys. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, well, we'll see you next week.